Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lady Layer. We're on episode 8. Woo woo! So let's get into this buzz layer. So first thing on today's agenda is Remy Ma's son going to jail for murder, y'all. What is the world coming
How
to?
embarrassing. Like, I forgot she had a son.
I didn't hear about none of that. Was that on the Shade Room, or where did you see that information at?
Everywhere.
Girl, yeah, it was on the Shade Room. It was on Gossips in the City. It was on like a few different places. I think I saw it on Neighborhood Talk. Girl, it's all out here in these streets. Okay?
Who did he murder?
So I got a news clip and it tells all the tea. So I'm gonna share that with y'all and then we could get into it, okay? All right.
Learned from multiple police and law enforcement sources that the son of rapper Remy Ma, 23-year-old Jason J. Scott, along with another man, have each been charged with first-degree murder, 2 counts of weapons possession, and reckless endangerment. The charges are in connection with the June 7, 2021 murder of 47-year-old Darius Gullibo in Queens. Investigators are looking into the possibility if that was a murder for hire. But an arraignment is expected later today in Queens County Courthouse. We're going to have much more on this breaking story coming up at 5 p.m.
All right.
For hire.
Right. And child, he's 47. What beef you got with a 47-year-old? Like that
I heard
man.
him say 47. You know what came to mind? The phrase when Nene said, "Woo, child, the ghetto."
Right.
Like, why are you in this life? Your mom is Remy Ma. Like, but I think also sometimes with these kids of like rappers and celebrities, like when their parents lived a certain life,
they want to try to prove themselves.
They idolize that life and they don't want to be like looked at as a kid that had a silver spoon and blah blah blah, and they think they gotta build some type of reputation like their parents did. Boy, murder for hire is crazy.
Right. And then I don't know why he feel like he needs to prove himself. Like, we don't care, boy. We barely even know you. Like, go on, live your little rich life in peace. Like, I don't
never checking for him at all.
Right.
What is it about the streets that just make people feel like they got to be like that to prove,
they're girl.
I will never understand it because I watch these shows like watching like Power Ghost Power Book or whatever.
Right.
And
Ghost was trying to not let him live that life, and he was so determined to be a thug.
And a lot of times I feel like it's the love of money, like it's the chase. But in most case scenarios, they never move themselves out of their situation. Like they keep making money, blowing it, spending it. And it's like you still live in the same position that you was in before you started making all this money. I don't get it.
Well, that's that saying, you can't take them out of the hood. Wait, you can take them out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of them. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm too scary for any of that.
Period.
I don't want to go to jail ever.
I'm like right in these suburbs.
Right.
I gotta check on my jury duty so they don't try to come pick me up, child.
All right. So next up, we saw this item where supposedly when Amber Rose and Ray J were filming College Hill, it says that Ray J was sleeping in the bed with Amber Rose every single day of filming. This man was married at this time too. Let's bring that into picture.
So they're saying that she was scared and she wanted somebody to sleep with her.
She was scared of ghosts.
She shared a room. She was not in a room by herself. They had roommates. I think there was only one person in the house that had their own room, and it was not her. Right. So you're in the room. She was in the room with Quay and one other person. So why you have to go downstairs? I watched the season.
I did too, girl.
Why you got to go downstairs to Ray J room?
I just want to say they hid this very well because I didn't know about this until they brought out this little article that they was sleeping in the same bed. Like,
but I feel like on the show she did ask someone to sleep with her. Like, can you stay with me or something? I vaguely remember her like saying that.
And did the house look haunted?
No.
Child, Sierra, we in the same boat, girl. Look, I had to go grab mine. That's why I'm leaning forward.
And my house is
you need to put the air conditioning on. It's hot up here.
Yeah, our AC is on and it is blasting. I'm like, need a blanket.
Oh.
But yeah, I definitely don't. And Ray J knows that ain't right. They both know it wasn't right.
You know we're not surprised though, y'all. And you know what?
No.
Ray J.
I am because I am probably a part of a small group, but I liked Ray J and Princess together, and I just feel like why you keep blowing it.
I like them together
I did not
too.
like them. I like them together too.
I think they have good chemistry, but Ray J been cheating on Princess for a very, very long time, and it's very like he was doing it on TV. And to be honest with you, I was getting ready to say Ray J's beefcake must be really giving what it needs to give because he just be slanging all around town, and the girls just be giving it up. So
I don't want to think about his beefcake. Like
Really?
honestly, like lately he's been giving dust. I don't want to think about the dusty beefcakes.
And now let us just say all this is alleged, and we do not know if they actually had sexual intercourse, but
Right, allegedly.
yeah,
sleeping in the same bed every single night for I think they were there for maybe 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And we think that Ray J is not gonna do anything.
Right. Who was Big Spoon? Who was Little Spoon?
Right.
Come
on.
Very inappropriate, especially for a married man.
Right. All right, y'all. Let's get into this gossip layer. So first up on the list, we got Keiarna and Deborah. Keiarna is suing Deborah for the physical altercation that they had on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Mm-hmm. So in case y'all don't know who Deborah is, she looks a lot like this person. Let me show y'all. Hold on one second. Yeah. She looks a lot like this character. I feel like this should definitely bring it to center. All right.
They referenced her a lot as like Sesame Street, but I do think this is a more accurate
depiction.
Yeah. It's giving Baby Bop. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a more accurate depiction is Baby Bop because
Sesame they got Street the same nose.
And for y'all that don't know, which they should know, but maybe people don't watch it, that's the friend that's Ashley's friend on House of Potomac that was... Girl, she was such a loser. What a loser.
Yeah, she did way too much.
Yeah.
To try to appear on that show.
Mm-hmm. And very embarrassing.
So Keiarna is supposed to be suing her for assault and battery and demands $10 million plus punitive damages for this brawl.
Now, she did get a gash. I think she got like a gash in somewhere. Like she was like bleeding.
Mm-hmm. But do we think that she's suing because it's hurting her business, or do we think that she's really like traumatized because of this incident? Because Candace didn't sue what's her name, Monique, for beating her up, and Monique was pounding her in her head. This was like a little scuffle.
Do we know if it's affecting her business?
I don't know. It didn't say anything about that in the article. It just says that she wants punitive damages, but usually punitive damages mean that it's something that's affecting them long term.
But that's why I say I wonder if she has some type of gash or scar or something that she can't get rid of. Because if that's the case, I'm definitely suing you.
Now, wait a minute. I have a theory. Because listen, she did all of that. This is my theory. This is allegedly is not true. This is my theory. She did all of that to cause all this raggedy drama because she wanted a spot on Housewives of Potomac.
Keiarna or Deborah?
Or Deborah.
Now, which one is Deborah? The Baby Bop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Keiarna is suing.
Yeah, Keiarna is suing Deborah. Keiarna is actually on the upcoming season of Potomac. Deborah is not.
She could be doing it for a storyline.
So if you guys haven't seen the fight, we're going to link it on our Instagram story and you guys can go ahead and check it out. So Kendra, you mentioning like, is she suing her for punitive damage because she had the gash on her eye? But I don't know if you guys are watching Baddies Caribbean, but Jayla got into a fight with this girl who says she's Puerto Rican and she keeps using the N-word. Right. She keeps using the N-word. And the girl in the midst of the fight took a bite out of crime on Jayla's collarbone. And this week on the episode, Jayla is pissed and she's like, listen, if I just randomly start beating your butt, it's because I'm looking at my chest and my kids is going to ask me about this scar and I'm never going to be able to get rid of this scar. Right. So,
and it's nasty. It's nasty. It bubbled up. It was stuff coming out of it. Like it was gross. This girl bit the mess out of her. And like right after she bit her, you could see the white meat. Like she took a big chunk out of her skin. And
so but okay, so the difference is Keiarna suing Deborah, she might actually get some money because I think Deborah is married to somebody that got a little money. Jayla suing this girl who trying to be on baddies will probably get her a Happy Meal.
Right.
Just saying.
And here's the thing: I'm a public figure, and mind you, I think Keiarna's business is like aesthetics and stuff like that. So you causing bodily harm to me that could possibly leave a scar that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. I'm gonna make you pay somehow. You're gonna pay somehow because I have to pay for it every day when I look in the mirror. Like, absolutely. That's
why Jayla was like, look, I own a swimwear line, and like this is what people are looking at. Like, I can't.
And like she said, she takes amazing care of herself, and her skin is beautiful. Right. And like she literally, like, she was being, I think, extra, but her skin is flawless.
Right. Yeah.
And now she has this big, ugly scar, which I think she can actually get repaired with like plastic surgery. But now it's like, why would I?
But now I gotta come out of my pocket for something you did to me?
Why should I have to go through all that? Because you can't fight. Because the girl talking about, I was in survival mode.
Why didn't Jayla just call now? I don't know. I would have called
They was in Barbados.
Yeah, you going to jail in Barbados because you was acting an animal fool, and I'm calling the police on you because you bit a chunk out of my skin. And now you going to jail in Barbados. How about that?
They wouldn't have got no filming out of me. I would have had to sit in a room, and they would have to write me an extra check for me to even be in the room with that girl.
Period.
Low key, Zeus might pay for it. You see, they got some deep pockets. They paying
I think girls to be on
PJs.
Yeah, but you would be paying for my surgery and writing me an extra check to even have a conversation with this girl.
Yeah,
because you need me to have a conversation with her now because it's the storyline on the show.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not sitting in the room with this animal.
Period.
Right.
This racist animal. I don't know what they say now.
Right. Speaking of suing, this week everybody getting sued. So if y'all watch Salt Lake, Lisa, last year they was coming up at her about her business stuff, talking about she didn't have her license like she was supposed to have or whatever paperwork. And this week it comes out that she getting sued for $410,000 because honey was not paying her bills. Child.
Raggedy.
And she was worried about that $25,000 ring.
Right.
Honey, why you wasn't worried about paying your bills? Like, make it make sense.
Right. And everybody want to get on everybody else about what they got going on. They want to talk about Jen Shaw, which what she did was terrible. But y'all is frauds.
Right.
Right.
Like everybody milk and clean. Everybody got something going on. And like, this is crazy. You're not paying your bills?
Right. And honestly, the way they live, like $410,000 is not even that much money. Like, pay these people this little $400 so you can move on.
All these mink furs and your liquor is in every freaking restaurant in Salt Lake City, and you got all this and that. Pay your bills.
Girl, you got 3 $25,000 rings on one finger. Like, come on, be for real.
But you know what? It never made no sense to me why these celebrities or these women that are wealthy that are getting on a national television show. You know, you're under a microscope. Hello, Teresa and Gia Guidice were made a huge example of being not paying their taxes and all type of stuff, and they went to jail. Caught. It's always in Shaw. They got caught. Now you're under a microscope. Why wouldn't you pay? Come on now. Come on. Why?
I feel like it's like a housewife husband thing. Like not most, but on every franchise, it's always a shady husband that doing something that's gonna get caught up because they on this show.
The shady husband been going on for years though. I remember a Housewives of OC, the very first season or the second. What it was the first or second season?
Right. The man
husband was they lost the house. He wasn't paying the mortgage
and unalived himself. Crazy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Why y'all laughing? Ain't that what you supposed to say?
Sierra. That's not funny, y'all. I'm laughing at Sierra.
No, that is not funny. I am very awkward when it comes to dark things.
Every franchise got a husband doing shady doings. Yep. And now we got Mr. Louie, Shady King. If y'all don't know who Louie is, let me show y'all. I just want to know who wore it better.
Stop it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh,
this was too good.
Well, God.
Louie.
Sierra, tell us, was it Zoolander or Louie? We call him Zooey tonight. Zooey or Zoolander?
You know I'm a tree stump. I'm a tree fan. So I can agree with
Teresa probably not even a fan of Louie at this point. Okay.
Right. He dragging her through it.
She writing for her man.
I don't know. He's shady. He always gave shady to me. I've said it 100 times, but
y'all just saying that because the way he looked. He didn't do nothing shady to be shady. He just looked crazy.
His aura to me does not give genuine.
It didn't sit right in your spirit?
No. No. He doesn't give off genuine. I feel like it's a facade. I feel like he's doing what's convenient to make him look good. And that's just standing 10 toes on that one.
So, okay, he is getting hit left and right. I mean, he's just fully in the blood. Hell, he ended up on the daggone Hollywood Unlocked. I couldn't believe he ended up on Hollywood Unlocked. You didn't see that? I said, what is Jason Lee doing posting about Teresa and Louie Burress? I didn't understand that. He is getting hit all over the place. And,
Go ahead. I was gonna say, if they didn't see it, I got it. It's coming up. I got it. Let's watch it and rate it 1 through 10. Let me know when you're ready.
Exposing Louie and his phony business deals has dropped, and whoa, Nelly. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked and Deja Monet for doing all the research. Let's dig in, shall we? I'll move out of the way so you can pause to read, and then we'll discuss. Juicy, isn't it? Despite the fact that Louie says he has no ties, he apparently shared an office with Marcelo, the CEO and founder. There's that $1 million loan I told you about, the one where he used his house as collateral. And this got me. Sources reveal Genovese reportedly instructed employees that Ruelas was an investor, mandating $300,000 check to be written to a fictitious entity named Influencer Nation. We've heard him talk about that. And another $100,000 for personal use by him and his sons. But guess what, guys? Influencer Nation does not even exist. Also, I'd like to hear from someone from the D'Amelio family because one more thing I'd like to point out, Switzerland-based Vanivia. Louie, Teresa, and Switzerland. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's right. They went to Switzerland last year. Bravo did a whole story on it. Oh, and who is this they're hanging with? In a helicopter? Swiss investor Marcelo Genovese? That's weird, isn't it? That he was in Switzerland a year ago. Bravo's reporting on it like it's a lovely trip. And really, he's just conducting all this shady business right under everyone's noses. Bravo, did you have any idea what you were getting into when you reported on this?
Child.
I'm crying laughing at Sierra's face.
Because that girl get on my nerves. She get on my because listen, I've been seeing her all over my page. And I'm like, girl, get your bald-headed self off my page talking about them. She's got a personal vendetta against them. You know, them claims is all
her job is to report on the news.
Right. Don't do that.
She is on Margaret's payroll, and that's how I feel.
So do you think there's no truth to any of this?
There may be some truth, but we don't know.
Listen, I don't think Hollywood Unlocked would set themselves up to get sued reporting that.
Hollywood Unlocked also reported the Queen's death, and she was very much alive. And I will never forgive Jason Lee for doing that. Y'all don't remember that?
Well, also a lot of other news outlets reported that she was unalive.
No. There was an incident where Jason Lee reported it. He said it said Queen Elizabeth dead at X, Y, and Z.
You just gonna keep saying the G word, huh?
She's dead now. Oh, she passed away.
Girl, unalive.
Anyways, it was debunked. She had lived for another couple of months after that. So that's how that was crazy. So sometimes they report false things.
Well, I ain't seen no retraction, child. It's for real. The thing where they reported that Queen Elizabeth was unalive, it was retracted the same day. This been up all week.
No, that post stayed on the same. That post is still there if you look for it. He never took it down.
Well,
pull up your receipt.
Anyways,
do the Margaret on me. Where your screenshot?
Look, the screenshots. Don't touch me because I will stay all night scrolling through it
for when it all blows up.
Right. When Sierra has to say, okay, Louie really is a fraudulent con man.
Fraud.
Zooey really is a fraudulent con, and Zoolander won.
You know what? If this is true, I really hate this for Teresa. I mean, she done went from one con man to another. If this is really true, I don't want to believe that because he does seem like a nice person to me. He does.
Hey, people got a type. Some people like convicts. That seems to be her jam.
I think somebody paid for a smear campaign against him. The way they claim that he tried to do against the rest of the castmates, they're doing that to him and it's working.
But all these people cannot be lying. The lady who got on there as a witness saying he owed her dango money.
$300,000.
You think she's going to put herself out there like this in the public? For $300,000, I would. If you owe me $300,000,
I'm going to put you on blast.
Why would she sacrifice her privacy if he didn't really owe her that money?
Right.
That's
true. Then the fact that they going so hard deflecting, trying to push this narrative about, they didn't let the hairdresser in VIP, yet they owe somebody $300,000. Like, come on. It's giving, don't look at my stuff. Let me just focus on your stuff.
Yep. Who did that one of them shows this previous season where they had Robin? One on Potomac.
Oh, I know where she was.
Her husband over here got a whole scandal, and she want to focus on everybody else's stuff to reflect what she got going on.
Right.
We got to get out of that cycle. The next topic. So we see there's a new show coming up. Allegedly, I don't think they have officially announced the show, but there should be a new show on Bravo called Making It in Manhattan, and it showcases a lot of the housewives' children. Along with some other celebrity kids and things like that. But we have Gia Guidice, Riley Burress, Brooks Marks from Salt Lake City. Ming Lee, who is Kimora Lee and Russell Simmons' daughter, and more. So what do you guys think about these kids getting their shine?
I'm so happy that this show was coming out so Gia could get some of her own business. Go talk to the kids. Go sit at the kids' table, okay? We don't want to see you at the adult table yet. Okay? Go find you some business. Go argue with people your age, okay?
I think it is true, though, because I did see Candy in the interview say that Riley was working on a show currently. So this could be the show that she was talking about. And her and Todd's daughter seem to be very close. I wonder if she's going to be a friend of on the show, so that would be cool to see them living in New York and stuff. And Gia got her boyfriend; she moving in with her boyfriend. So I think these kids.
I saw too that they were filming, so I think it's real. They showed Brooks Marks, and I forgot who.
No, I heard it was confirmed. It's a legit show that they're doing. I actually really like they're going to do this show. It gives us another fresh, open window in to the kids that literally grew up right before our eyes, because isn't Kimora Lee Simmons' daughter
Ming
Lee, she's gonna be on there as well. So I mean, I would love to see what kind of personalities they really truly have. So I love it.
Do y'all think that the old man that Ming Lee was dating is gonna be on the show?
That wasn't Ming. That was Aoki.
That's not Ming.
No, that was Ming. Oh wait, I'm sorry. That was Aoki. Yeah. Ming is the one.
We don't really know what's going on with Ming. We don't really know what's going on with her. So I think it will be interesting to see everything. But all these kids have been on reality TV before. They know the ropes. They know what to do. So hopefully they'll give us a good show. Okay, so we're going to keep it moving with the gossip layer. We got a couple more things. Peter Thomas, y'all. Speaking of taxes and frauds and all these things, we got another one.
Shady husbands.
Peter Thomas, Patricia, as Nina would like to call him. Apparently he got a tax evasion going on. And Peter has been in the media for shady business for a long time. They talked about it on the show. And I just wonder, with watching the clip, I just wonder, who do you think you are?
Right. He did a whole Diddy video about how he could be getting 5 years in jail for not paying his taxes and stealing from paying his employees. Sir, can you get your life together, please?
Yeah, and they talked about that on the show too, with the employees not getting paid. I think the manager walked out or something. because she felt bad because she couldn't pay the people. So it's always been a lot going on, and his business is shut down. Like,
imagine if Wendy would have actually opened the Nigerian lounge with him.
Ooh.
Like,
would have been all bad for her. And we wonder if Cynthia, how this affects her, because I believe she was still in business with him with one of the businesses. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see like how all this unfolds.
What the trickle down is.
Right, exactly. Okay, we got one more. So we gotta move it along.
Dang, I was ready to say something. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
They're not worth it. Go ahead. It's not that serious. It really isn't. I promise.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to our last item in the gossip layer. You guys, we're gearing up for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They are knee-deep in filming, and things just keep coming about. So the relationship with Dorit and Kyle seems to be on the rocks because there has been rumors that
got a blind item, y'all.
Dorit possibly has some type of relations or interactions with Mauricio that are inappropriate, and Kyle and Dorit seem to be going back and forth about it on this season.
So, them rumors, I told y'all a couple of episodes ago, I told y'all there had already been rumors circulating about that. And actually, Dorit last season when they were in Aspen brought that rumor up. I don't know if you guys remember, Dorit actually talked about that rumor.
Yeah, so like blow it up. People were saying that
Yeah. And I'm like, no, because you even gave it light, that's giving guilty a little bit. That's giving like you are trying to cover that up because
trying to get ahead of it.
That's what I was gonna say. She's trying to put it out there so nobody else can't.
Exactly. Because if it were me and if that was my best friend, I wouldn't even give that shit light. Excuse me, I wouldn't give that light at all because that's ridiculous. But
apparently Kyle is the one who believes it because she keeps coming for Dorit during filming. Like, I don't know if y'all saw, they got videos of them arguing at dinner and stuff, and it's because of this whole like Mauricio thing.
Wow.
Well, and now Dorit's single. Mauricio.
Yep, she's separated and smoking cigarettes. Who knows? It might be something to these accusations. I'm just saying. She out there.
About it, like with Kyle, she already knows that he, there's been speculations of him cheating and things like that in the past. There's been rumors since they started about him cheating. So, I mean, if there's any type of proof or anything out there to make her question Dorit, then I could see why she would be upset because
I'm sure there's enough proof.
Well, they got pictures. Listen, first of all, this is what's skeptical to me because today I saw this picture where Kyle is sitting in the back seat and Dorit is sitting next to Mauricio. I'm sorry.
That would never fly.
Right. What are we doing right now?
Right.
Child.
Get in the back.
No. Right. That's a little too comfortable. And it's not like they were like in the front, Mauricio's driving. It's like they all in the back seat, but Kyle is like in the back seat where you got to hunch your knees to your chin because it's not really like a full
she's in the third row.
Right.
So Mauricio and Dorit are in the second row and she's in the third.
Right.
Well, Dorit was like, my dress, I can't get in the back. My dress is too tight. Or whatever.
And Kyle's so delusional. She just posing like, hey, y'all. Like, no.
Mauricio, get your butt in the back. How about
that? Yeah, go in the back with me. What is going on around here?
Right. Or go back there by yourself and let the women sit up in front and talk. Like, why you need to be in the middle of our conversation?
Right.
Sit up there and work out some deals on your phone. I'm sure you got some real estate stuff you could be doing.
But this could also be like a cultural thing too. Some women that are not of color don't got certain sense about certain things. They do things a little differently than what we do in our culture. So that whole environment, they kind of weird with that kind of stuff. So that stuff probably flies with them. And I'm just gonna say
free. We're all friends. It's like, it's too like you leave room when you do stuff like that, not just to sitting in the car like that, but like certain little things lead up to other things. You allow people to get too comfortable and you have no boundaries, and it's like, oh yeah, he can pick you up from the airport, or I don't mind if you guys go here, or like when they were
snuggle in the bed because you scared of a ghost.
No. It's weird. You have to have boundaries in your marriage, in your relationship. Even when you trust people, it's just certain things that are inappropriate, and it leaves a window for if something should to happen in your marriage, and you allow these people to get too close, then they're talking about you, they're bonding, and the next thing you know.
Right. But didn't they go on vacation one time and Kyle met them after, like they was at the vacation spot together by themselves? Allegedly.
Yes, no, that's not alleged. That's true. Dorit admitted that.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's too comfortable.
Way too comfortable.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
All right, y'all. So let's get into these reviews. We're going to start off with Real Housewives of New Jersey. And we're going to talk about the beginning of the show where each group was at their different spots discussing what happened. And so first, let's start off with Jen, Dolores, and Teresa talking in the little Buddha store, or what, I don't even know what kind of store this was, but they were talking about what happened or whatever. And I just want to point out, Sierra, before, I know you're going to go in because these your people, but the fact that Teresa said that she ain't really friends with Jackie, she just using her to expose Margaret.
She did.
I mean, if that don't say something about somebody's character, I don't know. I'm just waiting for you to defend that, because that is not really Jackie's friend. We've been saying that this whole time. Jackie, you look dumb because you really going to bat for this person, and she's literally using you to get back at Margaret.
Real quick, I just want to say I do give Teresa props for being honest about it, though, because everybody is like, I think somebody even said it later in the show, like, well, we don't know who's using who, but somebody is using somebody. They're both using each other. Yeah. But
well, Teresa was literally like, she thinks she's so much smarter than me, and I'm dumb, and da 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 da. But quiet as it's kept, I don't really care about friendship. If she doesn't expose Margaret, we will not be friends.
That's her only purpose of befriending her. But that's why I say I do give Teresa props for being honest about it. Yeah. Because everybody's saying we don't know.
Yeah, she's honest with Jen and Dolores, but tell Jackie that.
Why would you tell the person that you're doing it to? I'm saying on camera, because a lot of
Jackie's so desperate to be on the show. Even if Teresa said, "Look, I don't really fool with you like that. We gonna put our foot in. I really want you to tell me stuff about Margaret." Jackie probably would say like, "Okay, let's be friends."
So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying I give Teresa props because a lot of times on camera, she throw the rock and hide her hand. Like, she don't really own up to certain things. She'd be like acting all oblivious. So the fact that she was just like, no, I'm using her. And if she don't expose what she needs to expose about Margaret, I feel like she kind of bossed up a little bit on that one. So I was just like, okay, girl, I can respect that. That's
I wonder if that's what Andy was alluding to last week on Watch What Happens Live. Because of course, Puppet Jackie was on Watch What Happens Live, going hard for Teresa, talking about, oh, we're real friends, da 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 da. And Andy was like, oh, well, we'll see. Wait,
she ain't seen the episode.
But you know what? I'm glad that Teresa did that, because I, for a minute, was my vision of Jackie was starting to get clouded. I couldn't stand Jackie. I never really could stand Jackie. That's why I could really care less about her being friends. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe she's just trying to be nice. And then I'm like, well, they don't like her. I don't really care, because she, for seasons after seasons, she got on my last freaking nerves. She got on my last nerves. She was like what Dolores called her. She acted like an elitist. She was acting like she was better and smarter. And then she would say the nastiest things to Teresa. The nastiest things to Teresa. So I don't know. I kind of like that Teresa was like, I'm going to use you. Like, keep your enemies closer. And what my main focus is I want to expose Marge. Like, Marge is her main focus, and she's going to use and abuse anybody. She don't care. And she said it on camera, and it is what it is. I don't care about her.
She admitted it all. It's still trifling. But I think it's crazy because I've never seen her do that. Like, sit up there and say no. Like, it's basically like and then I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, but she basically was punking her. Like, are you going to say something?
Well, she told Gia, she's like, Gia, if she doesn't expose Marge, I'm not talking to her no more.
Right.
Like, she's making it very clear. This friendship is quid pro quo. I will be your friend and give you screen time, But if you don't expose Margaret, it's over.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta hold up your end of the bargain. She's not playing about it either. She's dead serious. Like, you need to go. Are you gonna say something to her? You need to go say something to her. I'm like, dang.
But then Jackie was like, no, I don't want to, I don't want to play like that. And I'm like, Jackie, but why though? Because Margaret exposed you like with no
But
question.
Jackie's playing games though, because if she didn't really want to expose what Margaret told her, why you keep saying, oh, well, Margaret told me all these things about you guys and da-da-da-da. It's like she's baiting them. Like,
she defended Margaret with one group, but then when she went to the next group, she's changed her story. And I'm just like, what are you doing? I don't understand.
Because she don't know what she's doing. That's why. And she's very calculated, and she's trying to promote her book, and she's trying to get a seat at the table to make sure that she gets back on the show as a housewife. That's exactly what she's trying to do. She's acting so desperate. But at the end of the day, what Teresa is doing is exactly what Margaret is doing. You got to look at it here. Margaret got so mad.
Margaret using to get dirt on Teresa?
Girl, be so serious right now.
I'm being so for real. Who is Margaret using to get dirt on Teresa?
Girl, it's all in the blogs. Like, she's been she goes behind the scenes.
Show. Who is Margaret using to get dirt on Teresa? I'm talking about right now, months after filming.
She's got Rachel Fuda doing her dirty work 100%. 100%.
How is Rachel doing her dirty work?
She's their little lapdog. That they just admitted they have a whole manila folder of things that they looked up on Louie and Teresa.
They love manila folder on this show.
Teresa is the one who came for Rachel. That's how the thing got started.
No, it's not.
Margaret didn't say, go sick her. Teresa, the one that started talking about, oh, your husband is a drug dealer and an ex-convict. And that's how the Rachel beat started.
The first punch. She did not throw. Listen, I'm not going to sit up and argue about this now, child.
It ain't no argument. We gonna see in the comments, because your little fellow tree huggers be up in the comments.
Go ahead, tree hugger. Go ahead and comment on there, child. Let her know.
Shoot.
Oh my God, I don't know. I just feel like everybody is playing a big role in all of this craziness, and it's not just Teresa doing all this crazy stuff. Everybody's doing all this crazy stuff. Everybody is talking with bloggers. I was following. This is an important thing. And I'm not saying that Teresa doesn't do this. I'm not saying that, but I was following a blogger site called Real something Housewives Tea or something. This was a Teresa hater page. Like, nothing but talking trash. I was following it because I was trying not to be biased. I want to hear both sides. I want to hear what they're talking about, and I want to hear what the Teresa lovers are talking about too. I like to do my research so I can hear both sides. Okay, there it is. Now, I did unfollow them because I got tired of seeing that stuff. But I hadn't followed them because they posted a clip about Gia and her skin acne and all the stuff like that. And I was like, this is raggedy. I don't like this page. And you know who follows that page? Melissa and Joe and Margaret.
We're talking about Rachel here. We ain't talking about them.
No, we was talking about Margaret. Let's not do that. We was talking about Margaret. We was. And
you was talking about Margaret made Rachel her puppet. I said Teresa's the one that started to beef with Rachel.
No, I'm trying to prove a point that they're both playing these dirty games with these bloggers and digging up dirt on each other and talking to people and they both doing it. And I don't like that everybody likes to paint this picture that Teresa's the only one that's doing that. She is not. Everybody is.
Okay, girl, go off.
I will.
All right, so another big thing that happened is this infamous party where Jen and Danielle get into it, child. So I'm just gonna say right off the bat, Jen, you got what you deserved. First of all, and then second of all, everybody was talking about it was this glass pitcher. That was a plastic cup. Let's be real.
Plastic.
Yeah. So let's backtrack a little bit to how they got into the fight.
Yes.
Like, okay, so Jen brings up the fact that so they're talking, they're going back and forth, and then she's basically like, I'm gonna say it or whatever. And she talks about how Danielle allegedly spoke about paying herself back for her time for the charity event. And that sets Danielle completely off.
Yeah.
Right.
But I understand why she would get upset about that, because it's one thing to take the expenses. Like, you know, when you throw an event, you have to pay the vendors, you have to pay X, Y, and Z. Now, we know Danielle is not the richest of the bunch.
Right.
She probably had a budget for the event, and through ticket sales, through table sales, through, you know, you have a lot of different things that go on when you do these fundraisers. You have sponsors, you have tables, you have gifting suites, you have all these things, right? They're saying that she took the money, paid herself, paid the vendors, and paid herself for her time. But I think there's a big difference in paying your vendors and paying for the event, and then whatever is left over, give to the charity, than paying yourself for your time. Like, that's making you look terrible.
Yeah.
Now, do we believe Jen that
of.
she said that she was paying herself for the event?
I kind of do. You know why? Because they were friends. And you know, when you're friends with somebody, you say, like, you just be talking. And
are they friends though?
Well,
Jen
Danielle thought, don't say that, Trina.
Danielle thought they were friends. Jen said she was never her friend. Because another thing they brought up was that Jen didn't like that Danielle warned her about doing a photo shoot with her hairstylist.
Right.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe because I just don't like Jen. I'm never going to be Team Jen.
Yeah.
But like, if you're doing something and you don't know what you're getting into, like, I don't know. I would, if I knew, and I knew that wasn't what you was really about, or like, I don't know. I would have said.
I have a theory on that too.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me just say this really quick. I think that Danielle is not from wealth.
She's not.
And I feel like now that because we already know she's wanted to have a claim to fame, she's finally in a different caliber, right? She's around Jen, who she's like, you make tons of money. Like, I don't have the same money as you. She's saying all of these buzzwords that gives to me that she may have some insecurities about that. And she had an in with Jennifer, who is making a lot of money, who's wealthy.
But Jen is not making a lot of money. Her husband is.
Hold on now. Let me finish.
If her husband is, she is too.
She is. Yes, exactly. That's her husband. And they make tons of money. So Danielle, when you are friends with somebody that is very wealthy, and you are not coming from wealthy, she's from Staten Island. I don't know her background, but I know she doesn't come from like a lot of money, right? You probably don't know right etiquette. You don't know the right things to say. Jennifer was wrong. She was very wrong. Like, she's very judgmental. She's coming off, in my opinion, very elitist as well. Like, oh, well, I would have paid the vendors out of my own money. Well, Jen, not everybody has money to do that like that.
But that was Danielle's point. Like, you saying that, but I don't have a Ferrari or the biggest house in Paramus.
But that was my point. That was my point of the conversation that she had with her friend, quote unquote, that Danielle wasn't believing that was her friend. She's probably saying things to Jennifer that Jennifer thought may have been tacky. But I think Danielle, that's just a credit.
But going back to
because she didn't put her name on the step and repeat.
Going back to because we talking about two different things. So I was talking about the conversation with the hairdressers, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that two things could have happened. Yes, she could have been looking out for her, saying, "Hey, this is what it is. You're not going to get paid. Your likeness is going to be used over and over again. Just want to let you know. Make your decision on what you want to do." Or
take off your hairstylist,
right? Or with the photo shoot that was done, it was her and Dolores. Like, do you want to have Jen in that photo too? Or would you prefer to just be you and Dolores? Because then it's like, you know, Dolores is a main character on this show. She's been here forever. You look like a main chick with her. Like, it makes you look better. It gives you more status just to have the two of you. So I feel like she could have had that point of view, or she could have literally been trying to like look out for her. But I feel like with Jen, she know how to go to the gutter, right? Mm-hmm. So because she tried to blast her with the hairdresser thing, then she like, okay, you want to play ball? Well, let's show everybody how you was trying to rob a charity.
Right.
So she pulled that out her back pocket with that. And like you were saying about the whole money thing, a normal person that's throwing a charity event, I don't think they're necessarily, unless they have a nonprofit where they have a a fund.
Yeah.
To grow this event, paying for all this stuff out of their pocket. These events can cost $50,000, $100,000 to throw. I'm supposed to pull all that out of my pocket and give everything? No, but also it was her first charity event. Most charity events, they get all these things sponsored. The venue is sponsored, the tables are sponsored, like the
and
food.
that's why she was saying she didn't put Aiden plastic surgery or whatever on the step and repeat, because they didn't contribute anything monetarily.
You have to pay.
Jen is saying, well, I came. That's me.
Ain't enough, honey.
Right. Nobody want to see you, Otis. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Okay, they're coming to see Teresa.
Not true. That is not true.
But it's different tiers.
There's Jennifer. She asked for those three specific people: Jennifer, Teresa, and Dolores, because they actually have a huge following. They have a huge fan base, whether we like them or not. They have a huge fan base. So she strategically brought those three on, one, because of their friends, right? And she knew that she had a close friendship and she can ask. And people, especially Teresa. Teresa's got a big ass fan base.
Right.
She's got.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody coming to see. Okay, very limited people are coming to see Jen. Teresa is the draw.
Right.
Teresa saying yes, I'm gonna be there is what is gonna pack the house, not Jen.
Right.
Dolores, I feel like Dolores could get more people than Jen. I mean, look at her baseball game every year. It's growing more and more and more people, more and more money.
Right.
So
But when you throw a charity event, you save those spaces on the step and repeat for people who are paying you whole card cash. Like the people who go on the step and repeat are the drink sponsors,
right?
The people who sponsor the big ticket items to put on the auction. Like these are people who are paying money that's going to make a benefit to the charity. You being here, great. You go on the flyer, you get at the head table. That's amazing because there's tiers to this. People
and
that's
then for me,
tables, people that's buying like sponsoring actual money, those are the people that deserve to go on the step and repeat. Like.
And then for me, that shows Jen's heart too, because like, girl, if you really was doing this because you really wanted to contribute from your heart, why are you throwing it in my face that you came and that's why you should do this? Like, if it's really from my heart, I'm coming. I ain't got nothing else to say. Whatever happens, happens. I just hope that you make as much money as you need to make for your charity or that you possibly can. I'm not about to get into an argument and be like, well, you did da-da-da-da. I wasn't on the step and repeat. Da-la-la-la. You didn't, no.
And it's not fair to the people who paid money to have that showcase.
Right.
You know, I just really feel like Jen just doesn't like, Dolores called it last episode, this past most recent episode. She literally said, Jen just doesn't like Danielle. And she probably has been trying to like Danielle, but you know, when you just don't like somebody and they finally give you a reason to not like that person,
you jump on it.
The first base of it was like, okay, well, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like when she said about the hairstyle, it's like, well, who is she? Like, girl, that was kind of like that was a little raggedy. You have to agree that was not a cute look for Danielle, because Danielle, who are you? This is only your second season. So Danielle got that example, and I know this because this happened to me before. You get that one little thing, then from then on, every single thing is dissected and under a microscope. Oh, okay, well, you said this, and then you said that. Knowing good and well, that's not what I meant by that. Now you're trying to make it seem like I'm this, because Jen doesn't like her. But Jen, if you don't like her, then just state that. Just sit in your truth and say you don't like the girl, instead of trying to paint a picture about Danielle like she's this money hungry thief.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool.
And then it's also given that she don't want nobody to be friends with Teresa except her, because on the preview it showed after the fight or whatever that Teresa, she's talking to Teresa and she's like, if I got beef with her, then you shouldn't talk to her either, when Teresa is the one who brought Danielle on the show. So obviously she has some sense of loyalty. Like, I know they probably don't know each other because everybody just brings random people on the show, but it seems like Teresa and Danielle actually had a relationship prior to her coming on the show. And Jen is like, I think that Jen is threatened by the friendship that Danielle and Teresa have. And that's part of the reason why she doesn't like Danielle.
We know that Jen has been writing for Teresa like crazy. Jen gets a lot of hate and a lot of flack. People don't even want to be friends with Jennifer because she's friends with Teresa. So
But I'm not saying that Jen. I'm not saying that Jen doesn't ride for Teresa.
No, but
I'm
that's
saying
the reason why. But that's the reason why she was probably offended. Like, this girl clocked me upside my head at your party in front of you. Like, you
after I pushed her.
Oh, after you pushed her.
And Teresa herself said, if you would have pushed me, I would have did the same thing.
Yeah, that's probably what she said.
It doesn't matter.
You're wrong.
It doesn't matter.
Listen, if my friend is wrong, I'm gonna ride for you. But I'm gonna tell you, you wrong. Like, you pushed that girl, and the conversation did not warrant a shove. It was not that deep. People have gotten to worse vocal arguments than that and not put their hands on each other.
So Kendra, can I ask you this? I'm gonna paint a scenario, and I really want your honest truth about this. Say we were at a party. I came to visit you guys in LA. We were at a party. You and Trina have been friends way longer than me. Okay. That's just the bottom truth of it. You guys have a stronger, closer relationship than you have with me. Trina and I, we get a little tipsy. Then we get to arguing about Teresa and Jennifer and Melissa. And I get my finger all in Trina's face. I'm calling her a scumbag. You're a scumbag. You're a loser. Trina shoves me, and then would you sit there and be friends with me after that? Or are you going to stick beside your friend?
Listen, I would talk to the both of you guys, because here's the thing. No, here's the thing. I'm about right and wrong. I'm going to tell Katrina straight up. You didn't have to put your hands on her. You didn't have to put your hands on her.
If the tip of your nail touch my face, bitch, it's on.
I mean, if you touched her, but here's my thing.
Please no, don't try it with me.
That's a completely different scenario too, because to be quite frank, all of us have known each other for a very long time, right? So I would be having a conversation with both of you guys, because it would be deeper than Danielle and Jen. So I don't even think we can compare the two scenarios.
I was just trying to because if a girl, I'm gonna set the B word. If a B ever do one of these and I told y'all in the message, y'all, I got into that little altercation years ago in my late 20s. I ain't had no business. I ain't never been in a fight in my entire life. She got one of these. And then I got one of these, and she warned me. She said, if you don't back up, I'm going to punch you. And I was like, you ain't going to punch nobody. Like, what? It's Vallejo around here. Well, she shoved me. I shoved her back, and then she boop, boop, boop. And I just don't, if you're going to put your hands in somebody's face, that's a threat.
Check your butt cannot cash.
Well, don't put your fingers in my face and get out you calling me names. I'm gonna shove you out my face. Like, you got me twisted. It's never that. I don't know. They're both wrong. They're both wrong.
So here's the thing, though.
This is why I say it's different than a real life scenario, because we're on TV. We're all contracted to be here.
Right.
We know the rules.
Right.
So if we're having a altercation that is verbal, I'm not expecting for you to put your hands on me, because we're on this show and we're not supposed to do that.
Right.
So I think even with Teresa, it's like, girl, you didn't have to do that.
Right.
Like, it wasn't that deep for you to shove her like that. Yeah, she smacked the fire out of you. But when you push somebody, you don't know what their reaction is going to be.
Right. But also, this is not Jen's first time physically.
No, she didn't get it,
right. So, and this is the first time that somebody actually met her energy. Like with Melissa, when she broke the glass in Cabo, they held Melissa back. She didn't get to react. When Melissa, when she was at the house and Jen was trying to put her out and she was all up in her face, Dolores pulled her back. Every single time somebody has been kept to say,
you know what? I think
they wasn't quick enough.
They didn't have enough time. When I tell you, Danielle did not even think about it. She didn't even look. I rewound the freaking tape because I said,
so did I. I watched it back.
She didn't even look at a cup. She knew the cup was there. She never took her eyes off that girl. She pulled that cup up and smacked the fire out of her.
That's why I was like, I feel like that was fake. Like, it was so fluid. It was like, boop, boop.
She never took her eyes off the girl. I said, that's somebody you don't want to mess with.
Right. Well, Danielle said, I'm not the one you want to play with, honey. Like,
you got to believe people when they say that to you.
Right.
Yes,
and don't go and then don't go cry and be like, well, you're my friend. You're supposed to sit and be like, girl, you was flat out wrong.
Yeah.
And the way Teresa was like, I would have done the same thing. Teresa did not check on Jen right immediately after. She said, let me walk Danielle out. Let me make sure she's okay.
Listen, Teresa, I know y'all think Teresa might be a little slow and Teresa is about that life though. Teresa's from Patterson too.
I believe it.
Teresa's about that life.
Teresa and Dolores are cut from the same cloth.
We don't know Teresa's not about that life, but you have to be sitting under a rock. How many times has she shaken the table on this?
Right.
Okay.
Right. That's Teresa's way of holding back her anger. She got to shake the table.
That's why she wrote with Danielle, because she said, I would have did the same thing or worse.
Right. And she said that to Jen's face. She said, because Jen gonna try to act like she don't know what she did. And Teresa was like, if you would have pushed me, I would have did the same thing. Like, I don't have a defense.
They laughed.
Right. I don't have a defense for you. You would have got it too. Trust.
But you know what?
Sometimes you got to take that L and own up to what you did. Like, you was
exactly what I was getting ready to say. Jen just needed to take the L, and I probably would have. I mean, I would have probably been mad at that moment, and I see I'm a crier, so I would have been crying and been angry and ready to tear the place up. But after the fact, I probably would have giggled. I'm like, you know what? Well, golly, the girl
Jen need to be happy it didn't look like she had a scratch or nothing on her. Be thankful it was a plastic cup and not a glass one. And that just shows production was ready. Production knew something was bubbling. That's why they had plastic cups at the party.
What about Bill? Bill was in there.
That lady.
He was eating. She said, your wife's a bee. I said,
Bill said, I know. Bill said, I know. That's why I hang out in the pool house. That's why I hang out in the pool house.
Bill don't like her.
Right.
No,
he was like, we ain't got no prenup. I'm just biding my time, baby.
Right.
I agree with Danielle was saying about Jen, that she could possibly be jealous of her situation because Danielle's husband writes for her. He loves her. Danielle has her own business. She may not have as much money as they have, but
they have love.
They have love. She's doing something that she loves to do. You know, like her picture may not be perfect, but it could be some jealousy there.
As soon as the incident happened, Danielle's husband was like, Jen, you wrong. Why you do that? Yeah. Like, Bill said, right there, finished eating his hot dog, said, y'all better figure that out. He came outside like, I heard something happen. What happened?
If I look back on that clip and if I saw my husband just sitting there eating his food,
right,
relax and calm, when a woman is calling me saying that your wife is a bee and all that,
and the devil child, the devil.
What is really going on around here?
Bill is so disconnected. I would not be surprised if he still has another situation.
Yes,
where he's happy.
I'm telling you,
somewhere else because he's so calm and collected. He's not fazed by anything.
He don't care.
That's the signs of a man who is already checked out,
right?
And he's here off of pure obligation.
Yes, they ain't got no prenup. He live in the pool house most of the time. They said that last season. Like, listen, they are separated under one roof. That is not a real relationship. He only comes for filming obligations, and that's it.
It's evident.
And the only reason why he sticks up with her against Joe is because he don't want to hear her damn mouth.
Right.
Because she was quick to pull him to silence. You better say something. You didn't even say anything. It's like, you shouldn't have to tell him that.
Right.
And that's your husband. You ain't got to tell him nothing.
Right.
You know, they're not going to get a divorce because it's really taboo amongst the Turkish culture, from what she explained.
And she knows that.
Yeah. And they ain't got no prenup. Let's not forget
marriage like that, knowing my husband really doesn't love me, but we're under one roof and I'm being taken care of and it is what it is. You have no choice but to come across that way. You just don't. So that's why I hate that for her. I hate that for you, Jennifer. Golly, I hate that for you. Just Lord, she's but God.
It's so because I feel like that's so her because she wears her money like a badge of honor.
She do.
So she would be nothing without it. So I believe she is willing to sacrifice her happiness to have the status, to have the money, to say, I got this, and that. And it really is
that's all she has.
That's all
and her beautiful children. She has beautiful children.
All right, y'all.
Let's talk about this Jackie and Dolores convo. Okay, I admire the boundaries Dolores said. Dolores said, baby, listen, we don't gotta have this friendship. I need a break. I don't want to talk about it no more. Yo, you are gaslighting me. This is not a real apology. If you wanted to apologize, baby, it's been days since we talked.
Yep.
You are not being sincere, and I need a break from this friendship. It is not a real friendship. We don't even have to talk, baby. You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? And it was so, that's what, because like this year is my year of like working on boundaries and really standing firm on them. Because I'm not very the best. A lot of people are not best at that, right? So when I saw Dolores, when she was just like, no, like, I think we need a break. And she's like, oh, a break on what? A break on us. We're having a break. I was like, good for you, Dolores. Like, you're going to communicate that. She stood 10 toes down. And she wasn't here for that. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. No, ho. What you did was talking mad mess about me. You done called me a slob. You said you hated me. So why are you smiling in my face? And this was number 2 weeks ago. Girl, go on somewhere. Get out my face.
Jen thought it was gonna be all good. She said, I'm about to walk into this party. We about to be like the besties. The best.
Now, you don't know Dolores.
Right.
Now, she may not stand on business with her man, but everybody else.
Right.
She's standing on business. Accountable, okay? Because if she could hold Polly to the same regard that she held Jackie to,
she'd have a ring, baby. He would be divorced and she would have a ring.
The way Polly talks to her is insane. Like he seems to be very controlling. And the way that he, I think it was when they were in the gym.
Yeah.
Right when they were having that
conversation. It was in the gym. Yep.
And I'm just like, oh, that's how he talks to her. Oh, he demands certain things. Okay. That's not healthy.
Not at all.
It's not healthy at all.
She has a history of that. The men that she's been with. Well, the first one, oh God, what's her ex-husband's name? Frankie. Yes. Frankie. He used to really beat on her. He used to put his hands on her very bad. And he was very controlling and X, Y, and Z. And then she got out of that.
Allegedly.
I know allegedly. He even admitted to that. That's facts. He admitted to that.
I thought he admitted to cheating, not putting hands on.
No, even Dolores said it on the show, like he was like physical with her from what I remember. But okay, allegedly. So, but what I was saying was she tends to be in relationships with men that are not available for her, but available financially, financial gain for her. Yeah. And I don't know why she don't see that. I want better for her. I just want her to be happy. And I thought it was so sad that Frankie getting married and she's just like there and she deserves to have her happiness. Like, Dolores, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And she
needs a man that's emotionally intelligent. She finds all these emotionally unavailable men and she wants something deeper. And you ain't gonna get that dating who you date. Like, you have to switch it up.
Yes.
And when you start having to change what you really want because that's not what he wants, then there's a problem.
And speaking of that, now I ain't never said that I agree with Jen, but Jen was speaking the truth on them confessionals at the Buddha thing when Dolores was trying to convince them that she don't really need a marriage, she don't really need a ring, and Jen's like, that's not what you've been saying. Right. And like her little confessionals was on point. Like
it was. But they know, but see, Dolores don't play. They know not to talk about that because Dolores has boundaries. You
saw what happened to Joe when Joe tried to bring it up at the party when they came that time with the last ex when he wasn't showing up to nothing.
But that's how you know that it's like she is suppressing how she really feels to be in these relationships because you're sacrificing what you really want. And when somebody else brings it out, you'll lash out on them because you can't lash out on the person that you really want to lash out on.
Right.
Because you're trying to hold on to these relationships that aren't going anywhere. This man is using you to get whatever he wants out of the situation, and you're never going to get what you want.
Right. It's like she got like abandonment issues or something.
Yeah. Yes. He's going to keep dangling things in your face to give you just breadcrumbing you just a little bit to get whatever he needs to keep you there.
That's it. Breadcrumbing.
Yeah.
He's doing a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back to how I was. Then I'm gonna give you a little bit more and go back.
Polly told Frankie they got the ring, so he probably was like, "Oh, let me get you the ring. I'll do that to appease you. Oh, let's move in. I'll do that to appease you. Oh, let's have a business together. That shows some kind of a commitment. It is crapping.
But even with her saying, here's the manipulative thing with me was like, she was saying that she wanted to get a little surgery or something like that. Oh, not if you want to be with me.
Right. If you get surgery, I'm not doing that. It's over. Like what?
You're married and I'm asking you to get a divorce and you won't do
these
that
are just the things that he's saying on camera. Who knows what he's saying to her behind closed doors? And maybe that's why she's put up this defense mechanism of like, well, no, I don't really need to get married. You know, there's more important things than getting married. And I've been married before. I don't need a ring and I don't need this and this and that. It's because, this relationship is going downhill.
Right.
And you trying to figure out maybe she's trying to figure out how she's going to get out of it. I don't know. Cause she's already, it's on television. It's another failed relationship. It's embarrassing, but none of that is worth living a life of misery.
Yeah.
It's just not. So I need to get some cojones with the men because she got it with the ladies, but she got to get it with the men.
She surely do got it with the ladies. I wonder what her relationship with her father was like. Where is he at? Because that would make a lot of sense to me.
Aren't her mom and her dad married, but they don't live together? Like they haven't lived together in like years.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but if that's true, that could tell you a lot right then and there.
Yeah, I thought that when she first got on the show, she was explaining the dynamic between her parents, and she was saying my mom and dad have been married for years, but he lives in his house and she lives in her house, and they live separate lives, but she'll go over and make him food or whatever. Like they live separately.
Oh wow, yeah.
See, that'll tell you right then and there what exactly was going on. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how that's going to develop. But to move on and to discuss the next topic, Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I haven't been keeping up in track, but I did watch this latest episode. And at first I was like, okay, what's going on? But it's so juicy enough. So I know that there was a conversation between is it pronounced Marceau and Mel? Is that the name? Marceau, excuse me. So what did you guys think about that conversation between them? Because without knowing too much context with a little bit of the show that I watched, I can understand what Mel was talking about. I think that's who she was married to, Martell.
Yeah, Mel was married to Martell. So the whole conversation is about Mel and Marceau. So Mel is mad at Marceau because the whole drama with her and Martell leaked into the internet about him getting arrested or whatever. So a blogger came up to Marceau and was like, hey, what are your thoughts on the situation? And he says, I'm just praying for everybody or whatever. But I think he said something else in that too, in the text message.
Praying for everybody involved.
He said, didn't he in the text message, he said free Martell or something?
Yeah, free Martell. I'm praying for everyone involved. So the free Martell part pissed Mel off because Melanie is like, this person is doing DV. How could you say free him?
Right.
Like, and then
nobody called to check up on me and see what's going on with me and ask me anything.
Right. And of course, Marceau, he's the king of deflection. So he has to say, well, look, I didn't know what to say. I just said, God bless. It wasn't like that deep to me. Like somebody asked me, I'm just going to say, God bless. That was me not saying nothing. And it's like, and Mel is like, well, people come to me all the time talking about your fraud, you're sleeping around, all the different things happening in your life. And I don't say anything. The easiest way for you to get out of that situation is say, I don't have no comment. I don't have nothing to say. You don't even got to say, God bless. Just don't say nothing.
No comment.
Right. And I agree. And then, of course, he tries to spin it by saying, well, when your millimeters are coming for us and you never stop them. And it's like, these are strangers.
Right.
Your mother-in-law, y'all can't control. She calls me bees. She talks about me. She says all of these things in the media, and y'all can't control her, but y'all expect for me to control millions of strangers? Make it make sense.
Yeah. I was with Mel on that. The only thing I wasn't with her on was like, she was saying like, oh, y'all could have texted me to check up on me on stuff, because I feel like she wouldn't have received that
Well, I don't think they have that relationship.
No. And like even last season, like they weren't even on the best of terms for them to be texting her and contacting her and stuff like that. So I think it was a reach for her to say that, but I'm with her on everything else. Like you could have said no comment because Mel ain't messy in the media like that when it comes to their relationship. Like,
but I do. So I get it, and then I don't. So the reason why I say I get why she said y'all could have texted on me like that, maybe not Marcel per se, but her and Tisha were working on their relationship.
Right.
So even if she would have just texted her and said, "Hey Mel, I see what's going on in the media. I'm just checking on you," that could have been an olive branch to continue to build on the relationship that they're trying to rebuild. But instead, Tisha is gonna ride for her husband.
Now, this is something that I kind of was like wondering, especially when they did the flashbacks of how many conversations that Mel and Marceau have had together. I'm like, does she really value her relationship with Marceau? Because it seemed like she had more sit downs with Marceau than she do with Tisha. So
I think she has more conversations with Marceau than Tisha because Marceau is out of pocket more than Tisha, and she got to check his ass more than she got to check Tisha.
But here's my thing. So that's another thing of boundaries with me. Like, I don't know. I'm from the old school where if you have an issue with somebody's husband, you go to their wife as a woman. You don't go sit down with the man, or you sit down with the man and their wife. So I
agree.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. I thought it was interesting that she has, but also in her defense, Tisha do say, "We'll talk to him about it."
Right, and then I don't know how
you talk to her.
I don't know how productive that conversation would have been with either, because Tisha is definitely like, I'm gonna stick beside him. I don't care what he say. I'm gonna stick beside him. Like,
Mel had no choice but to talk to Marceau then anyway.
Right.
If she felt some type of way of that conversation, of that text message, I mean, that he sent.
Tisha does say, like I said, she does say, like, well, that's y'all's business. Go talk to him about it. Because that would be me.
But then also remember last season. So Tisha says that on one hand, but then she was talking about how he bought her the chocolate in the bottle and was trying to insinuate that they had something going on. It's like, girl, you can't open the door and then be like, oh, but go talk to him about it. Oh, but are y'all messing around
earlier?
Right.
That's what we talked about earlier. You set those boundaries in place. That's why those old school rules are in place, because you don't leave a window of opportunity for anything like that to happen. They have all these conversations, building on their relationship, getting a better relationship, and you're pushing them to do it, but then you get mad when they have private conversations.
Right. Or she brings him more champagne to try, which she could promote and bring you guys money.
But it is thinking about that would be very weird anyways. Now I'm trying to, when I think of situations like that, I'd be trying to relate to like an actual situation that could be very present. Like my best friend and her husband is my husband's like best childhood best friend, and like we're really, really, really close. I would never, if I had an issue with her husband, I would never be like, oh, let's go meet up for lunch to discuss this. That would be very odd. And even if my best friend did that to my husband, I would be like, why are you meeting up with my husband to have a conversation about what's bothering you? You should have told like maybe your man what bothered you, and they could have talked, or you could have talked to me about it, and then I could
all four sit down.
We can have like a group conversation about it. But you sitting around, because that, like you said, that leaves a window open for that's too much. It could be too messy and too much of a window for like your own imagination and your own interpretation. I don't want that. They should know better.
As a single friend, I don't even have enough conversation with your husband to have a disagreement. It's, hey, how you doing? Oh, that's that, whatever. And then I'm talking to my friend. I'm not here for you. Like, why are we having extended conversations to where you can offend me?
But I will say that it is different when you're amongst couples, because you do spend more time in that group setting because even my group, my friend group of couples, I have a lot of conversations with the husbands because we have a lot of group conversations. Right. And in those group conversations, we could be we're all in the same room, the husbands, wives, everybody, but we could be having dialogue about something. We could either have a disagreement about something because we're in some type of debate or whatever. So I think in those group settings, especially with the show that we're talking about, they're always together. They have the wives talk to the husbands talk to the wives. And so I think with that dynamic of like in couples, it isn't as foreign as you might think, because
technically Mel in this situation is the single friend though.
Now,
yeah,
but their relationship was built within the marriage
with the
couples,
the comeback group.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like those relationships are built in those group settings where game nights, conversations, you're constantly getting together. You have a real, friendship. And I think with her now being divorced and still on this show and still trying to maintain some of those relationships, we will see more of these conversations now, because she can't sit down with her, Martell, Tisha, but here's the thing I don't like too is Marceau never tells Tisha ahead of time that he having these conversations. It's just weird. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, so let's get into the conversation between Stormy and Destiny, because that was really cringe and that was really bizarre in my opinion. I don't know. That whole conversation was really bizarre to me.
Yeah, I don't know why Destiny. I don't know why Destiny thought that she would be invited over Mel and Martell. Like, you just came back on the season. Granted, so she didn't think that Mel and Martell should be invited because they're dating, whatever, or not dating. They were married and now they got issues. But it's the same thing with her, Sonny, and Moses. Like, why would she invite her, Sonny, and Moses when they got the same kind of dynamic? Like, it didn't make sense that she felt more entitled to be invited than Mel and Martell, who are actually regulars on the show, who have been on the show from the beginning.
Right. And I think Stormy's whole thing was, listen, everybody's invited. If you feel uncomfortable with somebody being there and you don't want to be there, that's your business. She want to invite everybody to promote her stuff.
Right.
She needs everybody to see it.
And honestly, I don't understand what Lovers and Friends has to do with Canvas Beauty.
Because she was coming out with her Valentine's Day scents.
Oh.
So it was like a Valentine's Day party.
Okay.
And she went out with her new oil drop. Side note, shout out to Stormy, because she is doing the dang thing in real life.
Right.
The girl had $1 million day on TikTok Live.
Yeah.
Wow. $1 million day on TikTok Live. Her stuff flies out the shelves like hotcakes. I haven't bought any of it because I'm not really I don't like sweet scents like that, and all her stuff is sweet scents. But the girl is making buku money. She has kind of pivoted from like hair products to like skin, like and body, and she's doing amazing. So shout out to her. But I think it was.
I believe her when she says she needs to upgrade to a 30,000 square feet warehouse.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, she's not on the show flexing. She's really like living her real life.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, she's doing it in real life. And I think that's why she don't be sweating these people like that. Like, she laughs at these people. She don't really need to be on this show, but it does help boost her business.
That's why she can invite this episode. That's why she can invite Tisha after she ain't had a conversation with her, because honey, it don't make or break me whether you come or not. I'm just doing it to show face.
Her money. And when they do these type of events, it's an all cast event. So everybody needs to be invited. Everybody don't have to show up, but I can invite everybody. I don't have a problem with that. She's like, I'm cool.
Right.
Yeah. So let's move on to the actual gala.
Right.
So we get to the gala. There's all kind of things happening, but I just want to jump to the conversation with Nell getting the tea from Sonny. So Sonny and Moses walk in. I think when they walked in, Destiny
Nell was already there, I think.
Yeah, Nell was already there, and she's like, I need to see what's going on. So she jumps right in. They having a conversation, and Sonny, I feel like, opened up more to Nell, because I don't know if she realized like she didn't give enough context before when she talked about their relationship. And she kind of spilled a little bit too much tea and got herself in a bind, in my opinion, because
she was contradicting herself.
She made it seem like they didn't know each other like that, but Nell broke it down. She said, so you mean to tell me y'all in the same city, y'all got the same family members, and y'all are just now coming in contact with each other? Have you ever met him before?
Please.
Right. And she drops the tea that Destiny actually invited her to a birthday dinner.
Yes.
And they sat next to each other.
And Moses was present, and Sonny tried to make it seem like, oh, it was a big party. But we later found out it was an intimate party of 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Destiny right here, Moses, and then Sunny, and then the man she came with, and then the two other people. So you mean to tell me y'all never talked?
Like,
Right.
bye.
But
And then
honestly,
married.
okay, so
She
when
said
we
they was
think
married after 90 days. Is that's what she said after 90 days of being with each other? They was married. Like, come on, like, stop.
But let's think about this table though, because the way the Destiny was describing it. So if it's 6 people, right? She's saying her. Let me see. Let me let you see my fingers. Her,
Oh,
Sunny,
mm-hmm.
Moses.
Mm-hmm.
No, her Moses, then Sunny. Her Moses, then Sunny.
Well, I'm just trying to count the people.
Okay.
So it's 4 people.
6.
Sitting on one side.
Okay.
At a table of 6.
Now she didn't really say who. She said who was sitting next to who, but she didn't say what type of table it was. Because even if you do have a square table where it's 2 on each side, they could still have been sitting next to each other. So because if on this side you got Destiny and Moses, and then on the other side of the table, but it's still next to each other, is Sunny and her man. You know what I'm saying?
Or it's a round table.
Or it's a round table. It don't really matter, but they was next to each other.
Yeah. I'm just trying to, for me, I need a visual.
Paint the picture.
Right.
The bottom line, though, is she tried to act like they didn't have any interactions with each other until she saw him at that family function.
Right.
She made it seem like that was their first time meeting, and it was not true.
And then wasn't she saying that they thought they was cousins? Like, you knew this man.
Yeah. Yeah. So they knew each other, and Destiny knew they knew each other because she said they were cousins. So this is why it makes me think that Sunny is just lying through her teeth, because you act like you didn't know him. You act like you and Destiny were not friends. Now, I will say the people at the dinner party were her producer and her realtor. So it seems as though Destiny really don't have like solid friends.
She don't have no friends.
She don't have no friends. So if those are the people at your dinner party for your birthday, and that's all the people that's there, you really don't have no friends.
And it's not being filmed. Let's talk about that.
Right. So maybe Sunny was thinking like, we not that deep of friends, but for Destiny it was. It's like, you were at my birthday party. Like, I brought you to my birthday party where he was there, and it was intimate dinner. But
that's
for
so
Sunny,
sad.
It's really sad.
That is so sad.
I think that Destiny looked at her more as a friend than Sunny did, but it doesn't negate the fact that they were had some type of friendship.
And when they had that conversation, when they were, talking together, the vibe, the girl's name is Sunny, the one that's married to the guy now. Sunny, she just didn't give off like a genuine girl's girl vibe. Like, she's not a girl's girl. Like, if I were to be
on the defense.
Yeah, if I was in that situation, I would know, okay, that looks really bad. Like, that looks really, really crazy. I would never be like, oh, well, he told me he had other girlfriends and y'all wasn't together. Do you know how dumb you look? Do you know how stupid you look and how stupid you sound? Because if he did it to me and painted, clearly he lied to you. Clearly, I've been with this man for 15 years. Okay.
No, right. She knew him.
She wasn't with him for 15 years.
Okay, well, they have a lot of history. They have a lot of history. They're together for a long time. And for you to say like, oh, well, he told me he had a girlfriend, or multiple girlfriends. Well, what do you think he's gonna do to you, boo?
Well, this is the thing. To you. They unravel even more deeper than that. Sunny is trying to say that she was with him when he was still married. So he was married while he was in jail, and she's trying to say that Destiny was messing with him while he was married to his ex-wife.
And Destiny is like, he was in jail. How was I dating him? Like, maybe she was sending him messages and stuff, because Destiny did say that they also had an actual friendship.
Mm-hmm.
She said that they have known
friends for 15 years. Yeah,
right. Okay, that's
15 years, and they're friends. And so she kept trying to reiterate, like, well, that on and off relationship, he was still married. But in Destiny's eyes, that was her friend. So they were talking, they were speaking while he was in jail, but they never had any type of interaction with each other because he was in prison.
And I didn't like after they had that conversation. Hopefully I'm not jumping the gun. Let me know if I am. I didn't like when Sunny went to go sit back down with, what's her husband's name? Moses. When she went to go sit back down with him, she made this raggedy comment like, oh, well, she dropped the ball and I picked it back up. And here, What?
She is so proud to be married to that man. Like, I don't get it.
I'm married to
I got the ring. I got the ring. Like, girl, that is not a prize.
That's not cute. You just literally said I picked up and picked up a serial cheater, and now I'm the prize. Oh, okay, great. Congratulations. You about to be cheated on in the next couple of months when he gets.
She already has been cheated on. Destiny ate her up when she said, like,
when y'all first dated, we were still dating.
Yeah, and she was like, you know, we were together in July and August. She was like, well, he had a whole nother girlfriend in July and August. Well, duh, he was cheating on me with her.
Right.
Just like he was cheating on me with you.
Exactly.
Like, if the man lied about all these other relationships and cheated with all these other people, what makes you think he was not lying to you about me? Why are you believing him? But I think she wanted to believe him because this gives her the upper hand. She thinks she has the upper hand on Destiny because she's married to him. And it's like, girl,
it's given she's a pick-me chick. And she's so happy that she got chose. And that's why she thinks that she won a prize. But and it's like he was with so many people. And out of all those people, he picked me to be his wife.
Me.
Right.
You think he dropped all them women in 90 days?
Right. It's like, no, you was the stupidest one that actually gave in to what he was selling. And that's why you got that shackle on your finger.
Exactly.
That's real. The other women wasn't falling for that.
No.
So embarrassing.
They were using him for what they want to get because he was tricking.
Right.
But you know what? What is she supposed to say? What is Sunny supposed to say in that point anyway? She knows she's very much embarrassing. She knows what she's saying is so tacky. She knows also what she's saying is like not valid and not facts. Like, you know, you're being cheated on. You were cheated on, and you married a cheater, a serial cheater, because he has the background for that. So she has nothing but to do but to flaunt the ring. Like, oh, I'm married and he picked me. Okay, girl, well, go ahead and ride on your high horse. And I'm
Congratulations.
Very proud. And I'm very proud.
I would have wrote her a thank you letter.
Yeah. If I'm Sunny, I ain't having a conversation. Destiny is not asking for this conversation. I'm just gonna be with my little husband that I'm so proud to be about and live happily ever after.
Right.
We don't have to have these awkward conversations. I'm gonna go on about my day. I'm gonna get my little check filming because it's drama, but with me, it's not worth it. I look stupid every time I talk to her.
Right. And why does she think Destiny owes her any type of conversation? Because it's like, would you like to have a conversation? I wouldn't.
No, right.
What do we need to talk for? And she's like, well, you want to talk to my man? He was my man. That's the only person that I should have had a conversation with.
Right.
Is him.
I want to talk to my man,
him, and not you. I don't owe you no conversation. You the one who betrayed me. You're the one who overstepped and did all these things.
Right.
We good.
I want to talk to my man and my friend of 15 years. Yes, that's what I want to talk to.
And I think that's
the one that owes me loyalty, not you.
Yes, not you.
I was not in a relationship with you. I was in a relationship with him. And based off of the fact that off the strength that we was friends for 15 years, the decency that he could have had was to say, you know what? This ain't working for me. You're not giving me the energy that I need. It's my birthday. You don't even show up or try to make an effort to spend time with me. I think we should move on. As someone that I built a 15-year relationship with, who's stood beside me while I was in jail and throughout whatever other issues that he was having in that time span. Right. That's the least that he owed her.
Yeah.
Well, he would never agree that he's a coward. That's why.
Yeah. And she needed closure with him. She needed to have that conversation with him because she needed to get that junk off her chest. Mm-hmm. Now you can kick rocks.
Right. You don't owe me nothing. You my producer. You got paid to hang out with me. It's not that easy.
We're good. Like you said, we weren't even friends. We're good.
Right.
But you want camera time. You want to have these conversations with me. And I'm not going to give you that.
Right. And she's looking very first season, by the way. Like she could have at least got somebody to press her roots. Like it's given very, very much entry level.
Why she have that the outfit that she had on in her confessionals is the outfit that she should have wore to the party. You got this red trench coat on.
She did have a
leather trench coat. And I don't know what season it was, but it's definitely giving Waiting to Exhale what she had to tell that man, take your leather weather in the summertime, stinky ass home.
Don't that way because I feel like they was still giving. She gave not that at all. She gave a very low budget Tubi film. That's what she did, and then she needed to step it up. So.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. She gave
wave
never wear it in the summer. She looked a little stanky. Going home.
Yeah, and her hair looked like she was out in the rain for a little too long, or humidity. I don't know what was going on around.
But that's what I'm saying. It had to be summertime because why your roots sweated out like that, baby? Like
it wasn't no summertime because nobody's wigs was lifted and nobody else's hair was frizzy or nothing. It was just her looking ragged.
They were first season castmates. That's why they
being behind the camera, not in front of it, and it shows.
She ain't got enough money
for her to know better because she was behind the camera.
She could see all the lace lifted.
Right. Come on, please.
And we end the episode with Stormy getting warrants, y'all. So
wait, did it do that? I didn't see that part on the show.
I did. I saw that.
At the very end of the episode, they show a scene at Stormy's house, and her husband comes in, and he's like, "Yeah, the police came to the warehouse."
Oh, I did see that.
And she's like, "What happened?" Apparently, there was a millimeter. One of Mel's fans, who doesn't mean anything to Mel, but one of her fans was basically stalking Stormy. Came to her warehouse. They got into some type of verbal altercation. The lady went and filed a claim or lawsuit or whatever against her. There was 2 warrants for Stormy's arrest.
Child.
And now she has to turn herself into jail.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's how the episode ends.
Next.
And so we'll see next week what happens. But y'all see how she got her hair and makeup done to go turn herself in jail?
I sure would. Right. Baby, I'm about to be for this mugshot because I am not sad. Okay, I'm about to be. Let me get the right side.
She was Cindy down with her shirt. Mm-hmm. She got her hair and makeup done to go turn herself into jail. Now that's a class act,
right? Yeah, but you ain't gonna ever catch me slipping. I'm about to be out here looking cute. I don't care. Okay,
right?
I meant whatever I said to you. Okay,
right. And my thing is, you trespassing. Like, why are you in my space, in my business where
that part?
No. So I don't think that'll hold up in court, but we'll see what happens next week.
So that's what they was talking about at the dinner when why she said she was happy that she was moving to the new warehouse because the millimeter came and they got into it.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, y'all. Well, this is going to be the end of episode 8. Let us know, are y'all watching Presumed Innocent on Apple TV? Because I'm dying to talk about it. If y'all talking about it, we don't got to talk about reality all the time. Let's get into this scripted tea, okay? Can we figure out who did it before the end of the series? Let us know if you're watching that show. If you ain't, you need to get into it because
I'll start watching.
It's good. It's good. That's a good show.
I'm gonna start it. I just finished Your Honor, so now I have room on my roster.
Oh, Your Honor, that's a good show. That's a good show. See, I don't know. So we've been on the House of Dragon tip. So I don't know that you guys.
House of Dragon is a snoozer for me. Every time I watch that, it's nap time.
Have you watched the second season?
I'm on it. I can't get through this last episode. I done fell asleep 3 times. Like, I don't know what to do.
You crazy. That's too much. You can't be murdering all these people. It's too much. It's too much.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Make sure you guys leave us a comment below and let us know what you think. And also, like what you just said, or if you guys are watching, what's it called?
Presumed Innocent
on Apple TV. Let us know.
We still ain't heard about Love Island either. Love Island USA.
Yes, y'all. Love Island USA is getting good. So we might just talk about it because y'all ain't letting us know if y'all talking about it or if you guys are watching.
Well, we had one commenter ask if we was watching Love and Hip Hop. So I don't know.
Love and Hip Hop is not on right now. So we do.
Sorry, Basketball Wives. Is it Basketball Wives?
Basketball Wives is not on. But it comes on in July. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna start soon. I'm down to talk about Basketball Wives.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about Basketball Wives. But right now, in today's TV, we got Presumed Innocent, Love Island USA, Love Island UK. We got House of Dragons, which I'm a snoozer, so I'm gonna try to stay awake. And what else? I think those are it.
We're currently watching is Huntsville and Jersey Housewives. So let us know what you guys think. And if we don't hear from y'all, we're just gonna talk about whatever we want to talk about. So let us hear from y'all.
And Dubai too, but Dubai is a snoozer too. Let's be
yes, very much so.
They're trying. They're trying their best. I think it's gonna get good later on, so we'll see.
We'll talk about it when it gets good.
Right.
Right.
So, yes, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.